way. Next speaker is Sri Dr. K. Veerasamy. Please.
Honorable Chairperson, sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity to make my maiden speech in the 17th Lok Sabha. Thank you very much. I would like to begin by quoting a couplet by Thiruvalluvar, the greatest poet of all time. Tammin Periyar Tamara Ulugudal Vanmayul Ellam Talai, which translates as, of all the strengths a person can possess, living among great men with sublime intelligence and qualities and befriending them is the most supreme. True to this Kural, I would like to remember and pay tribute to our founding fathers and great leaders, Thandai Periyar, Perarinyar Anna and Kalanithi Veerasamy, in whose time we are happy to have lived. Without these leaders' vision and need for state autonomy and revolutionary ideals and ideologies, Tamil Nadu would not have reached the top 3 best performing states from the bottom 3, where it was at the time of independence. I would also like to thank our Talaivar MK Stalin for reposing his faith in me, without which I will not be speaking here in this august house. I would also like to thank our parliamentary floor leader, Thiru T.R. Balu, for giving me this opportunity to speak in the demand for grants in the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Sir, I take this opportunity to pay tribute to the millions of youth of Tamil Nadu, both boys and girls, who gathered on the Marina Beach and across the nation and the world to protest in a democratic fashion against the ban on Jallikattu, a traditional sport of Tamil Nadu for several centuries, by the Supreme Court of India. They succeeded in their efforts and caught the attention of the whole world and give us hope that the youth of today in Tamil Nadu are capable of standing for the rights of Tamils, just like a party which stood against the imposition of Hindi in the past and still is. I say still is, sir, because either by design or by chance, there have been 3 attempts to impose Hindi in several states in less than 2 months of this government assuming office. The first was to implement the 3-language policy. The second was in the form of a circular by Southern Railways that all communication be only in Hindi or English. And the third was the recent one where, by conducting recruitment exams for the post office in English or Hindi, ignoring the regional languages. We have agitated, we have protested and successfully thwarted these devious designs. Sir, we have been fighting against the imposition of Hindi for several decades since the 1930s. I am sure that this is the same case for all the other states as well. The spirit and determination of our late leaders lives. It is improper for you to...
I know, but... Rajiv Pratap Rudy, please, Baluji, please, I will. Please, you... Yes, I will.
I do not wish to yield, sir.
There is no point of order. Please, Baluji, please.
I do not wish to yield, sir.
You please sit there.
Speech, I think it is improper.
This is his maiden speech. Let him continue, please. Yes.
The spirit and determination of our late leaders.
You please, not allowed. Nothing will go on record except his speech. Please.
But we have been promised that it will not be imposed upon.
No, please.
It has been when you have conducted an exam in the post office. Exam.
Yes, you just talk.
Sir, we have been fighting against the imposition of Hindi.
Please come to the topic. This is a demand for sports and youth.
Sir, but we have certain reservations.
Yes,
we have to voice out only here, the August house over here. We have been fighting against this for the past several decades since the 1930s. The spirit and determination of our late leaders lives on in the form of our current leader, Talabadi, and we will continue to protect our linguistic pride. And I am sure that several other states with the same pride will stand with us in this issue. I would like to quote our founder, Perarinyar Anna, who in April 1962 in the Rajya Sabha spoke thus. I quote his words from 1962, sir. I claim, sir, to come from a country, a part in India now, but which I think is of a different stock, not necessarily antagonistic. I belong to the Dravidian stock. I am proud to call myself a Dravidian. That does not mean that I am against a Bengali or a Maharashtrian or a Gujarati or any other language person. As Robert Burns has stated, a man is a man for all that. I say that I belong to the Dravidian stock, and that is only because I consider that the Dravidians have got something concrete, something distinct, something different to offer to the nation at large. Therefore it is that we want self-determination. I am happy that his ideals have seeped into our blood and the youth have established their right to self-determination by successfully protesting the Jallikattu ban. I hope it would not be considered presumptuous on my part, sir, that this ministry be renamed Youth Empowerment and Sports instead of being called as Youth Affairs and Sports. The reason I place such a request is to condemn the deplorable, despicable moral policing resorted to by a few antisocial elements who have abused young couples across several parts of this country in the name of religion and culture. Perhaps they have misunderstood the terminology youth affairs. Sir, kindly bear with me for digressing into the Ministry of HRD, for it would be a grave injustice to not talk about the education policy of the government when talking about the youth of this country. I am sure, sir, that many of the honorable members over here would have studied +1 and +2 with physics, chemistry, maths and biology. I would be very much surprised if anyone remembers what Coulomb's law is or what Frank Starling's law is in physics, or the valencies of various chemical compounds like magnesium and manganese, or chemical formulae in chemistry, or differentiation, integration, trigonometry in mathematics, which is forced upon children in schools but has not been of any use neither in our college nor in our lives. Our Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare is here. I am sure that he also would concur that most of these things are not required in most of our medical curriculum. Our leader and former Chief Minister Kalanithi had brought in Samachir Kalvi to ease the life of school children. But this government has imposed NEET in an ill-planned manner, which sadly has cost the lives of several thousand children. Notably from my state of Tamil Nadu, Anita and Pratibha and hundreds of others committed suicide despite scoring high marks. Sir, it is alarming and shocking to note that a child is dying every hour in India. That is a statistic which is being provided by the government of India. The count was 8,934 deaths, suicidal deaths in 2015. With the introduction of NEET, these numbers are only going to rise. Our schools, instead of being centers of education, are turning out to be concentration camps of deaths. It's sad to note that these are intelligent children, great assets of our nation we are losing due to the flawed education policy and our indifference towards their welfare. With all that said, I implore the government to reconsider and abolish NEET. It would also help to have a psychologist or a counselor and a vocational guide in each school. Psychologists more for the parents than the children, sir. The children are not the ones who have these ambitions. The parents have these ambitions and thrust it down upon their children. The parents, in most cases, with no doubt good intent, are pushing their children beyond their limits. As for vocational guide, many students and parents are unaware of the economic potential of certain degree programs. I would like to highlight about a few of them, sir. I have seen several dentists work for 8,000 or 10,000 salary, and engineers are offered 5,000 rupees or less. This is the state of our educational system in India. A receptionist makes more than this, while paramedics like optometrists, dialysis technicians, and even chefs make 15,000 or more. So we have many colleges, but most of the students from these colleges are unemployable. While the whole world is stressing on the importance of schooling, the government of Tamil Nadu is contemplating closing down of 1,500 schools, sir, while planning to open hundreds of Tasmak alcohol bars across the state. Sir, these thousands of schools have come out with the hard work of great leaders like Kamarajar, Anna and Kalaignar. That this government is planning to close down 1,500 of them is deplorable, sir. I request the government of India to prevail upon the government of Tamil Nadu and stop them from closing down these schools. I make this request because many believe that the BJP is running the Tamil Nadu government as reiterated by our party whip. Sir, the prevalence of sexual crime against women is another cause for concern. It's curious to note that over time, instead of a man attacking and molesting a woman, as it used to happen in the past, it has changed where groups of men join together and rape women. Recent instances like in Pollachi, where hundreds of girls and women were raped over a period of 7 years, is shocking. And to make matters worse, grave concern of sexual offences against children. In fact, a repeat offender a few weeks ago, raped and murdered a girl child soon after being released for the same offence which he had committed earlier. I implore the government to ensure that the strictest of laws be passed to save our children and women from such heinous predators. Sir, unemployment among our youth is revealing a shocking trend. Data shows that unemployment among graduates is highest at 23.8%, sir. Whereas the figures, I'm coming to that, sir. Whereas the figures are 2.3% for illiterate, to 3.3% for primary school, and 3.7% for middle school, secondary school, or higher secondary school youth. We tell our youth to study hard and graduate for better job opportunities. What are we going to tell them now? Adding insult to injury, the ill-planned, ill-conceived, and ill-executed demonetization and GST.
Sri Rajiv Pratap Rudy, we will hear you after his speech. Let him conclude.
Ill-executed demonetization
let him conclude.
and GST by this government has caused great hardship apart from several deaths.
It is his maiden speech.
And resulted in the
Mr.
closure of...
Veerasamy, please, 1 second. Quote the rule, please.
Article 132, scope of the rule.
352.
132 on page 52, sir.
No, he's talking about...
52 page number 52.
Consideration of matters referred in the message and any suggestion relevant to the subject matter itself or amendments recommended. Sir, we are talking about sports. Where does imposition of Hindi come in this, sir? Where does imposition of Hindi come in this, sir? And if you, under the constitution, is it fair? आप कह रहे हैं,
I will give the ruling, please.
आप कह रहे हैं कि हम आपके ऊपर हिंदी को,
Mr. Dayadidi,
आप इस विषय में,
yes, I will give the
ये
ruling.
बिल्कुल गलत है महोदय. हिंदी को आना, आप स्पोर्ट्स पर बजट पर स्पोर्ट्स पर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं और आप कह रहे हैं कि हिंदी को हमारे ऊपर इम्पोज किया जा रहा है. ये कहां तक उचित है? इसको बाहर निकाला महोदय. हिंदी हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा है और इस पर किसी प्रकार की आपत्ति ये सबके लिए है और किसी प्रकार की आपत्ति.
Yes, Mr. Pratap, you please, I will give the ruling, no? Please.
मतलब है कोई भी कुछ बोलेगा.
Please. First of all, you, or please keep silence. I can very well. I will give the, see rule 132 is a debate on such a motion shall be confined to consideration of matters referred to in the message of the President or to any suggestion relevant to the subject matter of the amendments recommended by the President. That is not applicable in this case. Yes, thank you very much. This is a very important subject. I think that after a long time we are discussing about the demands for sports and Ministry of Youth Affairs. It says maiden speech.
So, Lok Sabha, Anna and Kalanithi Veerasamy, Tammin Periyar.
Please, Rudy ji.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to make my maiden speech in the 17th Lok Sabha. Thank you very much. I would like to begin by quoting a couplet by Tiruvallur, the greatest poet of all time. Tammin Periyar, Samara Ulugudal, Vannayul, the top shadow for several setting recruitment exams. Just out over here, terminology despite sports are unaware of the economic potential
if you
over time.
examine the speeches of most of the members,
where does imposition of Hindi come in this, sir?
Most of the speeches are not relevant, particularly relevant. No, it's to the subject matter. He is a new member. I have allowed him as a new member. It is his maiden speech. Let he complete the speech. I have already directed that he should come within the subject matter of the debate. Anyway, he has already made a speech. Let him conclude the speech. All the members are hereby requested to have within the subject matter. That is the convention of the House. He is a new member. This is his maiden speech. Let him continue, please.
Sir, having said that, graduate employees, if you take the statistics and see, graduate employees have higher percentage of unemployment in this country. What have we done to make sure that these people are getting employed? Adding insult to injury, the ill-planned, ill-conceived and ill-executed demonetization and GST by this government has caused great hardship apart from several deaths and resulted in the closure of more than 5 lakh MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises, leading to a loss of more than 50 lakh jobs. I am coming to the subject of the matter, sir. I hope the government has learned lessons from its failures in the past tenure and will
Yes.
perform better this term, which the people have given with a very strong mandate despite their failures and inadequacies. Sir, just one more minute, sir. Speaking of the Ministry of Youth Empowerment and Sports, sir, I am happy to note that the government has increased the budget by 9% to 2,216 crores. But I feel that it is inadequate to improve the standards of sports in our country. Countries much smaller than us have a much bigger budget than this. I pay tribute to all the sporting legends who have reached great heights and have become a source of inspiration for the youth of this country. I do not want to name any one single person for the fear of leaving out somebody very important, sir. Sir, the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Abhiyan scheme, launched in February 2014 by the UPA government, was proposed to develop sporting infrastructure in the form of sports complexes
After
both
the experience
indoors
of the time, he
and
is coming
outdoors.
to the
1 minute, sir.
subject.
Just one more minute. Sir, I am talking about the subject, sir, which
please.
he was asking for.
No, please,
In the form of sport complexes, both indoors and outdoors, in every block level of the country to encourage sporting talent in rural areas. The NDA government, for reasons best known to you, sir, merged the scheme with Kalo India along with two other sports projects launched by the UPA, namely the Urban Sports Infrastructure Scheme and National Sports Talent Search Scheme. No progress has been made in Kalo India, especially in Tamil Nadu, but for one facility in Theni district. I request the Honourable Minister, through you, sir, to revive the Kalo India scheme to benefit the welfare of youth, especially in rural areas. Sir, my constituency is the most backward, economically and socially, in Chennai, with poor literacy and employment rates. The youth are distraught. 1 more minute, sir. Neither good opportunities for education nor employment, and are misled into drugs and crimes by antisocial elements. Setting up sporting facilities will divert their focus and help them to improve their life. I conclude by requesting the ministry to set up infrastructure and personnel for development of football and boxing, the sports which are popular among the youth in my constituency of North Chennai. I would also like to add that my
Yes,
fellow
conclude,
person
please.
from Salem has requested the Mahatma Gandhi Sports Complex, the building,
Next speaker,
which has
Shri
very poor
Prasun Banerjee.
infrastructure, that it can be done. And I request that all the blocks in Tamil Nadu are provided with a sporting complex, sir.
Thank you,
I
thank
once
you,
again
thank you,
express my
thank you,
gratitude for this
thank you.
opportunity, sir. Thank you very much.
Shri Prasun Banerjee, another veteran sports person.